Hello, here's how to get started with Landis Attendant Console. I'm currently using the Landis Attendant Console desktop app, which can be downloaded from our documentation. That is ac.docs.landis.cloud, and you can navigate to the download page and download the application. Or you can use Landis Attendant Console in your browser, that is ac.landis.cloud. Okay, if you're signing up for the first time and you want to create a trial, you can have your admin click the admin consent button here, and they can sign into their account and grant permissions on behalf of the organization. Once that is done, you can click the sign in button. That will open a browser window where you can sign into your account. If this is you for the first time, what would come up here is a trial sign up screen where you would put some of your details in to sign up for a trial, but since I've already have my account, I'm just going straight in. So this is the default dashboard of the console. This on the left is the calls panel. This is the search results show up here, and these are where some contact groups can show up. Just for a search here, I can search Alex, and he comes up right here, all his details. I can add contact notes that are shared that can be synced to other users. If you are using the browser, you're going to have to allow the audio devices. That'll come up and you can allow those. I'll just put a test call in right now. So here's a test call from Alex. What you don't see is the toast on the screen that can replace the Teams toast because I'm using the desktop app, but I will answer this call. I'll slowly perform a blind transfer to Diego. So I've clicked the blind transfer button and then click the call button on Diego. And that is now blind transferring to Diego, which is over here on the other screen. If I pick this up on Diego's side, just let it ring in. You can answer this on Diego's console, and that disappears from here. So that's the basic overview of the calls. Of course, there's other transfer types and other things, but let me show you the settings. The general settings, you can change your English, you can change to dark mode. You can click this if you're in the desktop app to suppress the Teams notification. That means a Landis Attendant Console toast will show up where you can answer the call and it will suppress the Teams one. These are the search resources if you would like to have an external search or an exchange search to search multiple contacts. By default, you can search the ones in AD in your org. Contacts are the different contact groups, and you can have any Teams team group that's already in Teams. You can have a search group that you add users from the search into that group, and then there's other exchange groups and global exchange contact groups. These are what would show up on your contact group panel there on the right. The contact endpoint order is when your contacts show up. I can just show you this right now. This is the contact endpoint order right here. So it's Teams, work, mobile, voicemail, and this is the other one, which is your contact layout button. So if you want to transfer to voicemail, you can add this to your contact layout buttons, and immediately you have a voicemail button here. So you could click blind transfer and transfer to voicemail for that user. And you can customize things here. You can have shared contact notes. This is where you can add your call pop URL. If you would like a call pop to display on one of these panels, you can add that here. Transfer buttons, if you want to hide, you can disable certain ones. You can minimize certain ones. So I have all of them showing now, blind, safe, all the options. These are your customizable callback messages. If you would like to send someone a reminder in the chat or as an email, you can customize what they say and they pop up. Chat consult transfer, you can customize what that says. And then there's some other hold alerts, failed transfer alerts that you can configure here. And some other advanced settings. Devices is where you can set your headsets, your speakers and microphones, and where you want the ring to come in. And you can also pair a headset here to use the headset buttons. Layout is fully customizable. You can have as many panels as you want. You can choose one of these, and then you can say, you know, you want each thing to show on which call history on 3.1. That's how layout works. Keyboard shortcuts, obviously highly important. You can set a shortcut for these actions, answer, decline, all these actions. You can set a shortcut. You can set it as a global or not as a global shortcut for your machine. Quick access shortcuts are just if the user wants to have a shortcut to do a certain thing, if you want to call a certain user from a shortcut, if you want to set your audio devices through a shortcut, set presence, open a web page, execute an HTTP request, you can have a shortcuts panel that's open here, and you can click those. Connectors is if you would like to connect to Landis Contact Center and be able to sign in and out of your queues from Landis Attendant Console. These permissions are optional, but you can use them if you would like to see the voicemail count. This is for the voicemail count. You can grant consent for that permission. This is for the voicemail details. If you would like to see more details other than just the count showing up here, you can grant that permission, and this is for global exchange contacts. AI prompts is if you would like to add a new AI prompt that you can trigger during a call or that triggers automatically at the end of a call. You can add that in here. There's more documentation on that. And advanced, this is important if you're going to our support team, you can set your logging level to verbose, which is the highest level, and that will capture all the 15 minutes of the past logs. So let's say if you have a bug that's occurring, you can replicate it, and then you can export the logs before 15 minutes are up, and then that bug will be inside those logs. And you can send it over to our support team at our support portal, and we will help you resolve that. This is an export settings button. If you would like to take this user's settings and put it onto another user's console, you can export the settings, and then you can import it on the other user's console. Normalization rules are here. If you would like to have certain ones, you can also import them from Teams. We have documentation on that. So your normalization rules all show up here. And yeah, about, this is where you can see your desktop app version. The desktop app needs to be updated manually, and you will get a little flag up here when it's time for a new update, and then your user can download it. It does not happen automatically. If you're using it in the browser, though, if there's an update, everything happens automatically. So you can zoom in here, several other options, and obviously your layout can have so many options, but that's basically the short overview of Landis Attendant Console.